still, if you consider last year, things have transformed. Even I'm hoping with your students as well that they are more online than actually having this water cooler conversation, and very personalized. And we are very social individuals, so we seeing you personally would create a lot more chemical impact than seeing you on a Zoom call. So when you are, how has that impacted your ability to either observe these individuals in their habitat, gain, like learning this exceptional relationship traits? I'm curious, like what are some of the things you picked by seeing that these students go virtual and still trying to go through the course?
Yeah, I'm actually no longer teaching the course, but we do teach it, and we teach it virtually. We have to do it with a smaller size group. Part of it is, I think all of us are, we talk about Zoom exhaustion, and part of it is we have to work so much harder on Zoom to pick up the nonverbal cues, to pick up the tone. It's exhausting. And our tendency then is to get a little bit lazy. And the trouble is we do need to put in that extra effort. But we also may need to do some different things. So let me tell you a story. It's happening in Silicon Valley. I have a colleague who said, well, gee, the good thing about Zoom is I cut to the chase. And I thought to myself, yeah, but what do you cut out? And I think what you cut out is crucial, which is the human aspect. So I know Silicon Valley CEOs where they have their staff meeting, all of it's by Zoom, and they start the staff meeting with each person having 90 seconds to answer this question multiple times. If you really knew me today, I would answer that. If you knew me today, after this talk, I'm going to the gym, which is opening up for the first time, and I'm excited about it. If you knew me today, I just got an email from my son who is just taking on a new project at Microsoft. I'm really excited. If you really knew me today, you'd know that I'm really happy because the book is selling well and it's being translated into other languages. Well, that took about 45 seconds. But Vishal, you knew David a little better because of that. Mm. And what the executive does is he has everybody, including himself, spend 90 seconds. So it's 10 minutes of their meeting time. And he's found that it's brought back the personal connections that they had when they could be face to face. So I think we need to take extra effort. We need to work extra hard when we are this way. We also need to know we don't send difficult issues through email. We use the phone, or we use Zoom, or now hopefully it'll do it face to face, because we need all of the senses we can. And Zoom has made that difficult, and the pandemic has made it difficult.
That's interesting. So I'm curious. If we talk about, say, culture of an organization, I'm curious. Have you ever given it a thought that if a culture, so as per governments, companies can be human, right? So companies are human, and from the legal point of view. So I'm curious that did you ever think about a company that is an exceptional relationship builder or creator? Like, are these techniques scalable to the level where a company could transform its relationship with anyone it touches? I'm curious.
Yeah, we've actually been doing some exciting work with some companies. So, as I said, one of the valuable things about a strong, robust, exceptional relationship is that I learn about myself because you'll tell me things that I do well, that annoy you, that may be dysfunctional for me. And when you think about it, in organizations, people walk around with an incredible amount of knowledge about each other. You know what your colleagues are doing that's hurting them, that's shooting in the foot, that's limiting them. You have this information, and it's not shared. It's rarely shared. Or if it's shared in anger, and then it's hard to hear. So what we've done is we've said we want to build what we call a feedback positive organization. And we go into an organization and we train people on how to give behavioral feedback. That is, it's on behavior, not on the other's motives. And 3 times a year, starting with a top team, they go off-site for a day. And they do their homework, have done their homework. In the morning, they talk, what do we do well as a team and how could we improve? In the afternoon, they start with the leader and everybody has written down, here are 2 or 3 things you do well. Got to be behaviors. And here are 2 or 3 things where I think you limit yourself. And this is shared. Now, the leader has to be willing to hear this, and many leaders aren't, but those that aren't. And then the leader hears that, and that's seen as information. You can do with it what you want. And then it goes around the group, and then Joan wants to be the next person, and she hears that feedback from their peers. And then it cascades down the organization. So each VP does it with his or her team. And then the division manager does it with his or her team, all down the organization. Now, this may seem like an expensive use of time, and it is expensive use of time, because each person, except for the leader or the one furthest down, is doing in 2 groups. That's 2 days worth. But what they found was that turnover dropped dramatically because this was an organization that now was committed to everybody's development. Problems got surfaced earlier. Work got done more efficiently. The number of people who applied to join this company went up because this was seen as a great place to work. So this was a process that changed the culture of the organization. Now, we've tried this where it hasn't worked. And where it hasn't worked is where the leader gives lip service to it, but isn't really committed. But if they are committed, if you can have the notion that, yes, other people have information that would make me a better leader. See, in a certain sense, we do performance appraisals the wrong way. Who best knows how you lead? It's not your boss. It's your direct reports. And this isn't a performance appraisal. We separate that from performance appraisal. But this is a way in which we build greater openness, honesty, caring for each other, and it changes the culture of the organization.